Hello. How are you guys today? Oops. See, that's not working. Today didn't have any cloths over here, so I am attempting to keep you propped up with my keys. We'll see how long that lasts. See my shirt? We are all children of the world. I think I hit my mic. How's your day been? Or how was your yesterday? Ready for another day? Anything fun planned? We've had some pretty strong gusts of wind I've been hearing outside here in Houston. Pretty cool. I like cool weather, but we're getting some rain in now, so I don't know if we're going to get some lower temperatures again. I think they're forecasting to get up to 80 degrees. So I think our springtime is finally upon us. What is it they say? Spring showers bring flowers, summer flowers, something like that. We're on the way. We're on the way. So, what you been doing? Yesterday I worked for about 11 hours doing my normal day-to-day gig. Came home, was able to design the promo ad for the Houston Actors Scene Study Group. Got that posted. And now I'm trying to think of something I can post for a little birthday gathering I'm thinking of doing on Saturday. I'm not entirely sure how to do it. The traditional thing is let's go to dinner and yada, yada, yada. I wish I could do something a little bit more fun. I'm not sure some people are as adventurous as I am when it comes to certain things. Like I enjoy skydiving, kind of an expensive pastime hobby. Zip lining, kind of an expensive thing. Sometimes people aren't into water balloon fights, so that probably wouldn't work out with some people. I would like to do something a little unique, not necessarily just about me, but more about like the group activity. Just chilling with friends, you know what I mean? People who have a common interest and common passion. Haven't hit the exact inspiration yet though. So, gonna have to work on it. Maybe that's a little faster than I want. There we go. I was kind of going like this. So, anyways, it's a nice good pace though. So yeah, I was glad I got that finished. I think about my day. What else? Oh, I've been trying to think of, I started having sort of a spark of inspiration for doing some kind of a little film group with its entire focus of being like, let's say we went for 8 weeks, started from the very beginning, creating a script, and every member who came in was going to play a different role, even if everybody wanted to be a director. Everybody would work in a different department in the beginning just to sort of get that experience, because I think that's really a great thing for filmmakers, no matter what role you ultimately want to play, to understand the different departments. Even down to craft services. I mean, craft services is a critical part of working on a production, because you have actors and crew members who don't have the ability to go and grab food during a shoot, grab waters, unless you're talking about like a 2-hour shoot or something. And so you need to have on-hand things for people. Let's say you have someone who happens to have diabetes, for example, which there's a lot of people who have diabetes now, or just have low sugar issues. They need something that they can sort of grab on the fly to snack on. And if you get into a situation where you're, carrying around you're expecting them to carry around snacks all the time and such, when they're coming to work on a production that's benefiting you and not considering what they're giving to it, it has an impact on the crew, has an impact on their morale. So I would love to do something that brings people together, not for the purposes of making money, but for the purposes of not only working on a project together, but understanding all the things that go into a project. So let's say there's like 8 or 10 different positions. Obviously you have your director, obviously you have your writer, obviously you have a producer, that's 3, camera 4, sound 5, costumes 6, makeup, which you could combine with costumes. So that could either be 7 or still 6. Let's say it's 7 for now. Lighting would be 8. Craft services would be 9. Script supervisor is 10. Let's see. I'm sure there are other positions I'm not thinking of that are significant right now. But something in that area, 10 to 12 people, maybe 10 to sort of just specifically focus it. And something where they come together and you have a couple of people who maybe don't know what they want to do yet, right? They know they want to make a film, but they don't have any experience. And they want to learn about a department. So you say, okay, you may not have something. We have a couple of people who already have ideas for scripts that they would like to do. Let's bring them together. We'll say, okay, give us your script concept, and we'll put the script concept out there. And then 2 people who, for example, have written scripts, 2 or 3 people, whatever it is, who may have scripts already, 10 to 15 minutes long. And then you say, okay, we'll let the rest of the group who are not going to be the writer or director or producer. They're going to work on other positions. Let's say they want to be camera, or they want to be wardrobe, or whatever else. They will read the scripts anonymously, and then they'll vote on which one they like the most. Which one they not only think is a good script, but also is practical, that they could pull off and make it good, so that their commitment of time is worth it. Because the last thing they want to do is make something that they can't use it for any purpose whatsoever. They'd like to say, look, I worked on this project. It's a short film, but it's a good short film. The writing's strong and such. So you have them, the 3 of them, 3 people who are writers, for example, submit scripts, okay? And then those 3 people submit their scripts. The 7 remaining people on the crew read the script in the different departments. They vote on which one they like. Initially, they like the instincts of it. They vote on it, and we choose one. So you choose one script, which is the writer. Okay? Now you have your writer. You know who the writer is on the piece. Their job's not over just because they wrote the script. Now what we do is the next week we come back to the table with the two other people who were writers. And their job is, as directors, to take this script and come up with ideas on how they would shoot it. What would they visually do with it? Yada, 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 right? So let's say I would do it this way and do it this way and whatever else. And then the 8 crew, including the writer, would vote on, of the directors, the 2 directors, who has the best vision for producing or directing the piece. And then you choose one of those 2. And the remaining person, who was a writer and wanted to be director, falls into the position of producer. Meaning now their job is to help execute it and make it happen. So then you have those 3 positions in place, and we're off and running. The part I would play in something like this would probably be more like the executive producer role, to sort of lead the team and help people sort of get situated and figure out what their responsibilities are within the department. And that would be more of supervisory and just supporting this, since someone has to be sort of the final go-to thing. And then you start developing who is going, how we're going to get this executed. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, let's say by the end of week 2, we have our writer, director, producer, and we've assigned other roles. We know who's going to run camera, based on maybe a little decision with camera. The options, people who want to do camera, let the director pick their DP, because that's how directors work. They would consult with the producer, tell the producer why they like who they like, give the producer a chance to understand why they want that person to be hired. Even though no one's being paid, the whole concept of the process of decision making. And then the producer would come to me, for example, in this situation, excuse me, trying to get this thing to stay up, would come to me as the executive producer, say, okay, here's what we're going to put in the position. This is why we chose that position. And unless there's some significant reason why I would feel they could not pull off the role, then I would say, okay, go with it. And you let them play out their role as producer. Keep it going. Make it happen. Make sure you've got your production managers in another position. That's sort of a under the director's position, who helps supervise it, although they do sort of work with the producer quite a bit too. Anyways, so you do these different positions and give everybody a chance to experience a different role. And then the next time, the goal is for people, maybe someone won't want to come back and work in craft services, or won't want to come back and work in costuming or whatever else. And if that's the choice, then that's their decision, and it's really their loss. Because the collaboration, just because you get to be the director, does not mean you understand every nuance of the production. And that's a huge part. You need to understand how production works, and the best way to understand it is to get in the trenches. I'm sorry, guys. This thing's really acting up today. Get in the trenches and experience that role. It's really irritating me today. Really, really irritating me, guys. I'm so sorry. So that's sort of the idea that's going through my brain. I like to knock it around to a couple of actors, filmmakers, and see what they think. Maybe see where to go with it. And that's kind of my idea about it. And then having the scene study group and the improv group, I think would allow the directors to see actors who are good potentials for participating in those projects, and then they could go from there. So that's kind of a working idea in my head. It doesn't mean they have to use those actors. They don't have to use them, but it's definitely a resource and something to see. Well, here are actors who are learning how to react in the moment and stay focused and work on character. And what, while they may not fit exactly what your expectations are for the role, because it's not the actor that's ever rejected, it's they're not selected, as it's put, because the director may just want a 5'8", African American male with a shaved head. He just may want that. And if you come in as a African American male with, shortly cropped hair, well, you don't fit the role. And if they don't want you, and they want you to shave your head and you don't want to do it, then you don't get the part. So it's just one of the ideas I'm sort of shooting around in my brain, seeing if I can figure out what to do with it. See what kind of time we're working with here. About 40 minutes. So I'm thinking about that. I would really like to do something that gets into making a short film this year, and it brings people together to collaborate on it. And it's really about the passion for doing it. The challenge is that so many people are interested in the exposure that comes from making films and stories versus just the process of making it and appreciating that. They'd love to be, discovered by Disney or Pixar or whomever the hell is out there. And they go, look, I'm making a movie with 20th Century Fox. And that's so often not how it works. It's years and years of sacrifice and struggle, pushing yourself. I've known a gent who's made 2 feature films, had backing, had international distribution, and his film did well internationally. And he didn't become famous. He's gotten some exposure, but he's not famous. And he put his heart and soul into those films. And they were really well received by audiences, but they didn't become, that quote unquote blockbuster. And most of the time they don't. So at some point it has to become about the process and the passion for making it versus what do you get from it from an exposure or fame perspective. It has to be about the passion for telling a story and making a fun project and maybe creating some fun costumes or just some appropriate makeup or some cool makeup effects or just being part of making it happen. I'm really irritated by this thing. Hear that thunder? Thunder, lightning. The way you love me is frightening. Knock on wood. So we'll see where we go with that. It feels good to talk it out, sort of. I was telling someone earlier tonight that this is basically like therapy for me. I get in here and sort of tell you my perspective, talk to the camera. You're always welcome to leave comments, but this is sort of me talking in my head out loud to you. Whoever's out there. Is anyone out there? Does anyone care? Nope. Maybe someone does. My mama cares. Hi, Mama. I'm kidding. Now the one view wonders on my videos. People are like, that's his mama. It's not. My mom's not on YouTube. He doesn't really have any idea about that. She's not a social media person. I still love her. We always love our parents. Sometimes it's hard, but I'm blessed in that way. Got a good brother. Got a wonderful mom. Got 2 beautiful fur babies. My little puppies. God, it's so hard to believe that this year they're going to be 6 years old. I have 2 lab mixes and 6 years old. It's just insane to believe that we're at that place. Life. They are beautiful puppies. Came home tonight from work and sat on the floor with them. And my big dog, the one who's like 100 pounds, Amadeus, he loves to play fetch. And so he just runs around and keeps trying to get you to take his little rawhide from him and throw it, because he loves to chase it. And then he will lay down, and he's a big stuffed animal, cuddly dog. And Simba just loves to be close. He's a very chill dog. He likes to play tug of war, but he doesn't do it nonstop. He just likes to play from time to time. 2 great different personality dogs. Pets are a wonderful thing. Really wonderful thing. It's starting to rain outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining. Oh, you want to meet somebody? I meant to bring him out earlier. Let's see. Meet my new friend. Ready? Hello, I'm Smoochy Yath. Oh, Smoochy, the purple dinosaur, the purple unicorn. Y.E. Yath. How are you guys doing? You're looking good out there. I gotta go. Peace out. Smoochy rules. I found this for $6 at a gas station, and he's just hysterically funny. It's a super cute little thing. It had like a dolphin and other stuff, but Smoochy, by far the purple pink unicorn, was hilarious, and I had to go with Smoochy. Smoochy rules. He's the big bad purple dinosaur, or unicorn. What do you call him? A dinosaur? He's a unicorn. But he's really cool. I'm glad I got him. Everybody's glad he got me. You're glad, aren't you? Yes, you are. Smoochy rules. So, I'm about to wind down for the day. Let's see what kind of time we got. Even though I've been falling all over the place. My apologies for that. Didn't want to stop doing the video and restart and all that jazz. Doing it live! Doing it live! As Bill O'Reilly and Alex Jones would say. Do it live! By the way, how do you like my Megatron? I've been working on Megatron. Let me see if I can do it. This is an homage to Frank Welker, who did the voice of Freddy on Scooby-Doo and Megatron and Galvatron on the G1 of Transformers. It goes, I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. I can't do the laugh. That's why Frank Welker's awesome. And I was not cast in that role. But it's a cool role. I am Galvatron, leader of the Decepticons. And then he does the voice of Claw on Inspector Gadget. Go, go, Gadget, Captain. Kingsley needs some work and some mental help. All right. You guys have a terrific day. See you later. I would say don't talk to strangers, but sometimes that's the funnest thing you could possibly do. Say hi to a stranger. Some fun things to be had. And the world is very small. That's a beautiful thing. You never know when you'll encounter them again and how your life will be infected. And always hopefully in a positive way. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the view. Enjoy the people. Let go of the petty ones. Doesn't serve you or the world. God bless. Peace.